see. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Marie's table tonight. I just want to make sure, can you all hear us, everyone? Can you hear me? Want to make sure it's everything, that the sound is all good. So we are now
I can hear you
live. Oh, excellent. So before I start introductions, I would just like to say, of course, as we understand, Marie is going through a very challenging time right now, and her partner. So again, thoughts and prayers to Marie's partner, and we really hope for his recovery and just everything going forward in the future. So I just wanted to say that. Yes. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. Absolutely. And today you will notice that things are slightly different. We have a special guest today who is very kindly dropped in to help cover Dianne's position. And this is someone many of you will know already. And he's called Milou. Does he need any further introduction? You are very popular, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, many people are just like, oh, Milou, here and blah, blah, blah. So,
well, that's nice.
Indeed.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, a pleasure. So this is actually my first time working with yourself, Milou. So I'm really looking forward to your style, and understand, of course, that you get your psychic impressions and you respond as to the messages that you receive. So I really look forward to that.
Thank
you. This is my first time to work online with a psychic, so this is going to be really fun.
Oh, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. And of course, everyone knows Lady G, who's looking fabulous tonight. You are looking gorgeous.
Oh, you're so kind.
And of course, most people know my face by now. So, I'm just, call me Hoagie, basically. So tonight, this is going to be really interesting. And I just want to say right now, just in case you are watching Dianne, just so you know, when you are back on, I'm going to tease you mercilessly. But I'm glad, it seems everything went well. So I'm glad, and I'm hoping that you're in recovery and things aren't too painful. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We have Deborah Webb, we've got Sherry H, we've got Electra Storm. Diane. Diane, no. Hey, Dianne, she donated as well.
Hi, Dianne.
Fingers are working.
Oh my goodness.
I was looking at I was in the private chat tab. I just tapped on the comment tab. So I'm on the right place now. I wasn't seeing anyone before. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Okay.
Indeed.
Now I know why.
Wonderful. So Dianne is saying hi, and we've also got Craig Dixon, Carol Ann, and Gina M. So without further ado, and of course, if people make donations and stuff, we will acknowledge you, but also understand that if a person is in the middle of their flow in that reading, I'm not going to interrupt to acknowledge at that point. So if I miss you at that point, apologies. Thank you, Lanian. And we'll try and make sure that we acknowledge everyone. And let's get stuck into the show. So I put on my community tab, of course, asking people what they would like to be asked tonight. So I've got a few questions, and I've got a few carryovers as well if we get through everything today.
Sure.
So I thought this one would be a very interesting one to start off with. Now, what happened is something went wrong with my printer where for some reason, it only partially printed to text. I've got half a name and a little bit of text, but I can still see enough here. So there's someone who's called, I think it must be Angelina, but I've got Englina. Anyway, never mind. So the question is, what were Biden, Harris, and Hillary talking about during their meeting, that lunch meeting? So if we could read on that would be great.
When was the lunch meeting?
I think it happened about
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. So there's that, and I also want to do a little shout out here. I feel terrible. I think you're called Suzanne. I think, and we were talking, and I'm so glad that you gave me these cards here from the Intuitive Notions, the Nexus Oracle. Forgive me, my mind went blank. I was rummaging for your name, but I'm going to be using your cards today as clarifiers on my tarot. Right.
Okay.
So who would like to go first?
I'll take a shot. I believe, we may think that Hillary is over her presidential loss, and I don't feel she is. I mean, she accepts it. I feel her and her husband, I mean, she used to be first lady among other high-level positions she's held in government, obviously does not have much respect for Trump. It feels like Trump was one of the major topics, his behavior and how to counteract him. And I also feel they've discussed, because we have a couple of challenges in this country right now when it comes to elections, budgets, and the like. Okay. I feel they talk about that. And of course, they had fun because, believe it or not, Biden has a very good sense of humor. So does Hillary and Bill. And Biden's wife is she's pretty funny too. It feels like to me intuitively. So it was a fun time. But I feel it was mostly about the challenges that this country faces, and how they discuss how potential solutions. Not that Biden was looking for advice, but look, you get it for free. He can do whatever he likes with it. But intuitively, that's what I feel was going on, at least part of it.
Right, I see. And Lady G, what cards do you have? What are they saying to you?
The first thing I got was, of course, this were friends of the White House. You know that she's very much a good friend of Biden. They know each other quite well. And this was about some opportunities, long-term opportunities going forward. The foundation is about who can help, who can do what, about Emperor, about putting good things into motion, about how to be a great leader, etc. The challenge is to retreat these things that they're trying to, to block, that the cool down, that the Republic Uglies are trying to stop and to, mismanage. So going forward, we have them talking about truth, the best way to bring it forward, how to retreat the Republic Uglies, with what they're doing in the Senate, and they're wanting just to block everything. And again, the best way to do that, the best way to bring the emotionality and things that the country is feeling, to bring it into better things, how to go forward in a best way.
Well, I mean, yeah, indeed. I mean, that definitely sounds plausible to me. And so what I've got, and of course, from me, obviously this is the UK perspective. So in many ways, I feel like sometimes my cards are sort of like looking from the outside perspective. So in terms of the first card that I get, in terms of what the conversations, things that they may have been talking about, of course, would have been like, just the horrendous situation. The horrendous situation.
That describes it.
January 6th and everything. And I feel like it's almost like they were talking, and it's almost like if we, they almost feel like democracy is walking away in disgust. In disgust at what these charlatans have been up to. What would they have been discussing? Here we are. We've got the King of Wands, which of course refers to an entrepreneurial man, a businessman. So we all know who this is. Certainly what I call Duck L'Orange. fill in the gaps, everyone. As we know, things are getting a little bit more strict around here on the old Tubi. Let's put it that way. So they were discussing that, and of course, the sense of loss, the sense of just what is going on. So I'm sure. I mean, that gossip, that I would have paid good money, quarter of a kidney as well, to listen to what they would have said, because it would have been juicy. So I think what's happening is that they are deciding to lie low. Yeah, they are sitting on that information or whatever it is that they discussed. And I think I may have spoken about this before when I was last on Dianne. I said I think they're keeping their powder dry, in the sense to potentially, maybe it's because they are either, thank you, Kathleen Rodia, thank you so much. Maybe they are planning, potentially, if they know explosive information. And I really do feel that Biden knows a lot more than what he can actually say in public, and I think they are just waiting. And then just to use one of the cards, and it's Hannah, by the way, Hannah Greer, finally got the name right. And one of the cards that I got here is supply. So when I think of supply, that makes me think of infrastructure. Yeah, it makes me think of resources. So I think they would have discussed strategy around resources, supply, who was supplying the insurrection, and who do we need to supply in order to kind of move the dial in the right direction. That's as far as I would go with that. And just a few more shout outs. So Sharon Sipe, we've got Persia, that just quickly went through. Patricia Franzino, Electra Storm, and Jazzy Sophie. So thanks so much for joining, everyone. The numbers are racking up. So that's my 6 pence worth. Okay. So let's go on to the next question. So the next question that we have come in, which is also a little bit locked off. So all I've got here is Jones. So Jones, whoever you are, your first name was just cut off by the printer. So what they say is that Barack guy, I've only got the M left, but Barack, this billionaire or whatever, has been released on $250 million bail.
Right.
Will he skip out of the country to one without an extradition treaty? That's interesting. So your thoughts, Milou, your thoughts?
I don't feel this guy can, unless he can swim. Unless he can swim from California. I believe he lives in California, from the ocean to wherever he wants to go. Otherwise, that's not happening. And even that.
Swim to Alcatraz, I hope.
He may lose his way, No, I don't feel he is going to, because he knows it's hopeless. Even if he were to try something like that, he's not going to get away with it. And flying, forget it. The minute he gets off the ground, and he's under surveillance. Like you just said, Biden is aware of a lot, and much more than we know. The same thing with someone like him. He is under surveillance. And I will go even a little further. So is Trump and his family. None of these people, every move they make is surveilled.
True.
So I don't feel he can go anywhere. So I hope he doesn't leave. I'm curious to see what you guys are getting.
Indeed. And Lady G, what do you have for us?
Well, the first thing I got is that I think he knows a lot about dark money deals and things going on. Yep. Like I said, I think that Javanka is going to get caught in this as well, because remember, Jared is the first thing he went to do is set up a back channel to Russia, and the second thing he did, he's just like, no, he didn't do anything wrong with Khashoggi. He's a wonderful guy. So I think that, as far as this guy, he's hung up. He's not going anywhere.
Yep.
He knows he's facing loss. And this is about the money. He's got, and now I keep getting a female. I think that, again, why I say Javanka, because I think Ivanka's in it as well.
I love that.
Yeah, so he's very much worried. The challenge is worried, and he's thinking about going in and putting new energy out there, talking to kind of get himself out of the mix. So he's evaluating everything, and he knows about Russia deals as well, overseas deals. I think other stuff going on with the UK. I mean, not the UK, the Emirates and stuff. And so he's looking to pad his way. What's my best way? Oh, I want to give you all the love because
he needs it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
See, he's not going to go anywhere. I think he's thinking how he can use what he knows to throw Javanka under the bus as well. Because I'm sure that he was over there saying, "Hey, Dad, the EU, they've got these things going, and it would be really nice if you would be supportive of them."
Absolutely. And someone quite helpfully was just also saying as well, for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Entertainment purposes only. So someone donated here as well. Let me see if I can get the name up. Janice, thank you so much, my dear, for the donations. It's wonderful. And of course, they will be shared amongst the hosts. So thanks so much for that. Okay, so I'll do a quick few shout outs before I respond. So we've got Katie, Bill 1, Annalie Finch. Oh, it's going quickly. Patricia, of course. Silver. We've got Sheila, Inquisitive Tarot, and what's it? Cartomancy Mesquite. That's very, very interesting. Now look, you got to remember, I don't know this guy yet. I don't know this guy from Adam. I just know he's just another one of these sort of slithering sort of creatures that seem to be underneath this rock that is just pulled. It's just extraordinary. So you were talking about surveillance. So the first card I get is the Hierophant. Yeah, so we get a major arcana. So of course this is government. Yeah, we can see this as Biden's government is there, bearing down, looking at everything as this person is thinking, what on earth can I do? And again, tying in with what both of you say, if we look at the obstacle, look at the card here. So here we are. It's a classic. It's what's that? Should be the 8 of Wands, isn't it? Yeah, it is the 8 of Wands. And so here, the 8 of Wands, what does this often refer to? So he is feeling victimized. He is feeling trapped.
Oh, sure.
He is feeling that he has to navigate very, very clearly. Thanks so much, Chap Wandsworth. And navigate very, very carefully. And of course, this is an unusual situation for a billionaire to find themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not used to such confinements.
No.
And even they might have even been thinking, wow, 250 million bail. Thank you, Marjorie Lara. And so it's difficult. So he wants to go into retreat. He is sitting thinking, oh my God, what is this? I was free. And now things are difficult. And if we look here as well, when we look here, if the person were to get up too quickly, they would be stabbed by the swords. And particularly when we look at it in context of what came before. So he's feeling very constrained. But let's look at the next card. The devil. The devil. Yeah. So exactly. So this really kind of explains it all. When we think of all of his connections and all the, the slimy, stuff going on.
Yep.
And if we think about, Khashoggi and just everything that's happened, it's been like just a trench of filth. And then finally for the outcome card here, we see, look, the sorrow, the walking away. I mean, either way, which way we kind of look at it, this is a person who is feeling really quite dejected at the moment because
I
when
would
you're
too.
a billionaire, when you've had this power, you're not used to this kind of, even just being held and restrained and put behind bars for a little bit is enough to kind of dent a bit of that ego. So I think there is that. And then one of my clarifier cards from the Nexus, a Nexus Oracle deck from Hannah, and it's here. It's unlock the good. So in a way, it's almost kind of like, if I were this to be my appeal to Biden, it would be like, let rip, just pour as much, good people into these situations as possible, and just get this sorted out. And I want to say a thank you as well to Greta. Thank you so much for your donation. And I want to make sure I've not missed anyone. Yes.
Well, there was another $5 donation from somebody that was just before Reader.
Yes, and we've got Zol3 Tina as well. I'm not sure how to say that as well. So thank you, everyone. And if I've missed your name, apologies, but it's all appreciated. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Now, what do I have down here? Now, this one, I think this is Mary Jane, because I've got ARY, so that must be Mary, yeah? And then Jane. So here we are. This is a good one. So Mary Jane asked, can we read on Hope Hicks? She seems to have disappeared. I just thought that was very interesting. So, Milou, please, talk with your wisdom.
Oh,
what are the voices saying to you?
The minute you said that, what I feel, now that she's able to get away from Trump, she's taking full advantage of it. She no longer wants to be around him. Okay. Mm-hmm. Also, she's seeing someone as well.
Oh.
And and I'm getting COVID because she did have COVID.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah. She probably gave it to Trump.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. Dr. Laurent.
She is quite resentful. When you are in the situation, you don't realize what's going on until you have a chance to, you move back and you can be objective about everything that took place, and you talk to others. Because right now she's no longer in government. She can talk to friends, and she has more time. She's working, it feels like to me. I don't know where she's working, but at least it's easier for people to have access to her and talk to her. Mm-hmm. So number one, I feel she's doing the best she can. She no longer wants to be around Trump nor his family. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, she's not going to rock the boat, try to say anything that would piss him off. She won't. But I feel she has been keeping herself busy. Don't be surprised if you hear Hope is getting married.
Wow.
It may not happen like the next 6 months or a year, but Hope is going to get married.
That's fascinating.
There is somebody after her. I feel, she's dating. Mm-hmm. That's all he wants.
Right. I see.
So that's that's what I'm getting when I focus on Hope.
Okay, and just before you start, Lady G, I just want to acknowledge, thank you again for the donations, everyone. Thank you, Terza. So nice to see you here, and thank you so much as well, Catherine Bush. Oh, very generous, wonderful. So, Lady G, please, what do you have for us?
Okay, well, she's kind of still in a maze, but going towards higher, better things. She wants higher, better things in her life. So she's trying to get through this maze of stuff that's going on. She's looking for long-term benefits.
Oh.
Shall we say long-term benefits? She's got some secrets that she's not going to let out.
Oh, no.
Okay? And underneath of it, I think this might be her new beau, a person of power that's moving forward. So the challenge is rapidly moving forward again into new things, and she's wanting the foundation to be a person that is comfortable.
Oh, sure.
Looking for the comfort. She just wants to go to smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Because underneath of it, she knows about the misuse, abuses of power. So she's just looking to go forward in her life to something better. I just want to be done with it, out of it. I know things. I'm not talking.
You're right.
Yeah.
I can well imagine. So I just want to say a thank you to Kath11 for your donation. Thank you so much. And I've got quite interesting cards, you know, for Miss Hope, Miss Hicks, shall we say. And she is an interesting character. I mean, the most, can you imagine? I'm in the UK, so the only bits I've seen are on a little bit of American news, and I've just seen like a whiffle of a handbag, a bit of hair blowing in the wind, and going up and down the steps of like helicopters and airplanes. That's about it. So, the main card I get for her is, look at this. There we are. Good old 3 of Wands. She's prospecting. Yeah.
Oh.
She's looking out and she's like, right, okay, what am I going to do with this hot bod of mine? And, you know, I'm up for sale. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. So she's standing on the shore and she's waiting for what? Her knight, her passionate knight to come and rescue her. But you see, look, it's reversed. So there's a little bit of a delay here. I think COVID might be messing things up a little bit for her romantic life, as it were. Yeah. However, what is she seeking? She gets an amazing card, actually. She wants, just like you said, Lady G, she wants to get away from it and rejuvenate. And in many ways, we can say this is her stepping away from the spotlight, because I'm sure it was very intense. And this is more about an internal rejuvenation, a rebirth from her, when she's almost like, oh, thank goodness that's over, because the recent past was probably a bit of a drag. Yeah, she probably wants to kind of like forget that. We've got the 6 of Cups. And she's looking back at that and just going, it was an experience, but one I don't necessarily wish to repeat. And then for the final card here, we have the High Priestess. So look at that synchronicity there, Lady G. Yeah. She's going within, really going within. I think she's really been examining those years. This is a major arcana. And she's really been examining everything that has happened. But just like you say, I mean, the High Priestess is secretive anyway. So even if the card were the right way up, she wouldn't be telling much, but it's reversed. So this is literally certain secrets she'll probably take to the grave. I mean, maybe there might be some little memoir that may come out 20 years from now when we've completely forgotten who she is. But, you know, there you are. So it also suggests that she's maybe even doing some meditation work, or she's taken a real almost spiritual inventory of herself. So that's quite interesting. She's certainly changed. That's for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
I just keep hearing love for sale.
Love for sale.
Young love for sale.
Comfort is pretty good, you know. She definitely wants that.
Wasn't there the show that was called like The Love Boat?
Yeah.
You know, something like that. Anyway, sorry, folks. We need to be careful, yeah? You know, when it comes to the old scene, don't we? Okay, so are we ready for the next question? Yeah?
Absolutely.
All right. So I think this one has come in from Marilyn Marquez. And it's a really simple one. And she said, what is the future of Kavanaugh?
Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court judge, right?
Yeah.
Well, I feel Kavanaugh is going to remain in the Supreme Court until further notice. Because Biden does not want to rock the boat. You know who's going
partisan.
You know, I've heard of all those dirt that came out either yesterday or the day before yesterday. The FBI releasing all the information to the White House, and basically the White House kept them. That's what I heard. So if I'm wrong, but intuitively I feel at this point there's only one person that can sink Kavanaugh. It's Kavanaugh. Yes, they've thought about. He has been discussed, but it's too much of an endeavor. for them to take one. But if he does anything, which I doubt is going to happen, I wish I could see him leaving too, but I don't think they're going to touch him. They would have to impeach him. Pelosi's not going to do it. And DOJ, no way. They won't touch him. But that's what I'm getting for now, anyway. And you know what? He feels quite secure, by the way. He wonders, but he understands how things work.
Yeah, that's what my cards seem to be indicating as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, go on, please.
But he's not happy about the way he got the position.
Right.
That's what I feel. He got it, but he's not happy about the way the whole thing unfolded. But
yeah, lots of fingerprints over it, isn't there? Lots of fingerprints.
And there are a lot of fingerprints that we are not aware of yet, but they will come out. Yep.
Indeed. Okay, so Lady G, what do you have?
Well, first thing I got was the information that came out is kind of dead. They're gonna,
sweep it under, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately.
But in the center, it's got some people riled up, and they're wanting to work together and get something started. They want to put this out there. The challenge is, again, getting that out there, and above it, getting to, again, safer waters, and underneath of it, justice. There are a lot of people that want justice, but again, we have the other faction that's trying to put it under the carpet.
True.
So,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, that's okay.
When you're done.
Okay. So going forward, we're looking to see where the emotions are going to come, because above it, we have some magician. Now, which way it's going to go, but somebody underneath of it will have a victory. So who's going to have the victory? Is it justice, or is it the sweeping it under the carpet?
Oh, yeah. Well, we know what's going to happen. What I wanted to say, if January 6th did not happen, I feel they would have taken on Kavanaugh. But with the commission that Leader Pelosi just put together, and they're starting next week, I don't feel Biden is not up to that stuff at all. That's what I'm getting. But I agree with but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And just as some shout outs, so Ann Rod says, Kavanaugh, stick a fork in him. He's done. You guys are great, by the way. There are now 717 of you joining us right now at the moment.
Wow.
So a few more little shout outs. So we have Maria Colon, we've got Melissa Miller, we've got Shilaya Inquisitive Tarot, and Gloria Connie Brown, John Johnson, and something Jazzy Sophie. That's a great one as well. So, okay, what do I have? And again, I quite like this in a sense of, because I'm away from it, it's like it influences my cards in a different way. So the card I get for Kavanaugh is the Hanged Man. Now, really, what is this about? Essentially what this is about, this is a change in perspective. So I think since that he's become a justice, his perspectives have been changed a lot. Because remember, he was supposed to go in and be the poodle, and he's actually shown a bit of backbone. He's actually shown a bit of backbone because he was hand selected, hand put in there, and he's actually defied, the former administration, shall we say, a few times. So there's that. So clearly things have changed his perspective, and I think he realizes and appreciates the gravitas of the situation that he's under. Now, what is the obstacle? Now, isn't it interesting to have pentacles as an obstacle? And look, they're reversed. So, of course, this can talk about, money, changing hands. If it's the right way up, we can look at opportunities in regards to finance and windfalls and stuff like that. But this is reversed, and it's also the obstacles. So what this suggests is that he is I think he's also under a certain element of financial pressure to compromise and bend in certain directions that he may not even necessarily be willing to do. And I also feel, in a way, this is almost like Trump's, Duck Larange's support, shall we say. The Ace of Pentacles can also represent fool's gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in a way, I think now that he's actually in this position, he's changed his perspective. And when we look at the next card, I think this backs it up, because what do we have? We've got the moon. Let me just adjust my lighting here because my cards are too reflective. In fact, let me just turn this way. Oh my goodness. Sorry, folks. Lighting. You got to remember it's nighttime in the UK.
Yes.
Here we are. That's better.
Yeah, better.
So here, look, we've got the moon. There's anguish here. Yeah. His thoughts and emotions are not still and calm as you would expect for a person in his position. And looky here, this card comes back again. He's feeling victimized. So how could he be feeling victimized? We go back to the card that was crossing it. So there, it's like the shall we say, the benefactors, the donors behind the scenes are probably making Kavanaugh feel a bit restricted and trapped. However, his outcome card is that ultimately, yes, he is feeling strong. Just like he said, Milou, he understands that this isn't quite enough to finish me off. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
If I keep my nose out of trouble,
Yep.
if I just keep, flicking through the pages of the law books and, just chucking in the odd vote here and there, I'll probably be all right.
Exactly.
I think he's correct. So
Yes.
I'll be surprised if he's turfed out. You never know. And then the card that I get from Hannah's deck is change. But really, I feel like this is a change for him.
Right.
Because when we think of that hangman, his perspective, of course, has changed. So I think he's on a little internal journey as well. Not one as profound as Madame Hope. But, something on that way. Yeah.
Right.
Something on that way. Okay, so let's go. Are we ready for the next question? Yeah,
Absolutely.
kind of ripping through today, actually. Let's just see. I can actually, but I've always got a bit of carryover. Right. Now, this person, I think this is Kathy Griffin. The C is missing, but anyway, I think that's Kathy Griffin. And her questions is, I want to know how Trump and Putin talk to each other if Putin doesn't talk English. And she's put in here, Duck Larange, too dumb to talk Russian. Love you all. I will just jump in before we reply.
Sure.
It would not surprise me if Duck Larange is at least semi-fluent in Russian or some Slavic language, because how else would he have proposed to his wives?
Sign language.
He has to know a little bit. So what do we think on that? Are they communicating in Russian or English? What do we think about their communications when they've been talking, Milou?
Okay. I feel there's a network. It's not a lot of people behind the scenes that we probably will never find out.
No.
Okay. I feel those people have been sharing information with the Trumps. I don't feel it's only the father. To me, it's the entire family. Okay? And messages are passed back and forth, it feels like to me. If they're not careful, they'll get caught. Okay, but it's not like straight, like somebody, visit Russia or they meet somewhere in Europe, because it's easily done. Okay, they pass information and from one to the next, and then it gets here. That's the way I feel. It may not be exactly the way I am translating it, but it feels like to me, Trump has been in contact with Putin from his campaign till the end of his presidency.
And remember, for entertainment purposes only, everyone. Entertainment purposes only. Yeah.
So the probability of them getting caught is not very good. You know what I mean? But they know, our intelligence agencies are aware something is going on. Catching it is the problem. But I feel, and I believe I said that, a number of years ago when he was meeting with Putin in South America, I feel that we know things that he may not be aware that we know. That's my take on the whole thing.
Right. Okay. So just before you start, Lady G, I'll just do a few more shout outs. So thank you everyone for all of your comments. One person has written here what they've said. He proposed to his wives using money and flashcards. Oh my goodness.
That works.
I've got to find the comment again. I have to click on it again to take it down. So otherwise we won't be able to see the cards. But the chat is moving. So there we are. That is brilliant. And we have Catherine Bennett in the house. We've got Tawana Barnard. We've got Sandra Nevins, Roni Y. And we are now up to 816 participants. So Lady G, what do you have for us?
Okay, well, for one, Melania would be speaking some Russian, and her parents, for sure.
She can speak 5 languages, apparently. Yeah. She can speak 5. Yeah. I'm sure one of them is cash. She can speak cash. The other one is handbag and Louis Vuitton. She speaks
Louis
Vuitton. Yeah, absolutely.
Fluently. Anyway, go on.
I needed a clarifier for this, and what I got was exposed.
Ooh.
So they are going to be exposed. Now, the link I got is a mail link. Okay, the bridge is some mail that they're using. Somebody, the judgment that's sympathetic to them, strong person above it that's sympathetic to them. The challenge is defending all this stuff. And it's, of course, somebody that's doing it for money, of course, and working together with them to link all these things together. Going forward, we got, again, this card has come up a lot today, almost every reading. Trying to get out of the choppy waters. Rapidly, what is coming is the struggle. So it's going to come out who's doing this and that they're having these secret things going on. Now, remember the first thing, of course, the minute he got in the White House, Jared wanted to do the back channel through the Russian embassy so nobody knew what was going on.
That's true. I forgot about that. You're right.
Fascinating. Yep. So I just want to say a quick thank you to Prayer Warrior. Thank you so much for your donation. All right. So look, here's my 6 pence worth on this. Now, this exemplifies, the whole situation in terms of Duck L'Orange and Putinshka. Yeah. In terms of what was going on there. So if we look here, the moon is up, has come back again. Yeah, the moon has come back again, and this time it's actually come back reversed. Now, when the moon is reversed, this can actually really refer to kind of severe states of mind, even potentially even mental illness and stuff like that. Now, if we think of Duck L'Orange and his scenario, I think this is very akin to really what's going on. He's got some seriously troubling thoughts now because there's a lot that's happening. What is it that he fears? What is it that he's on the telephone about? Look, 5 of Pentacles. He fears ruin. I think for the last 3 times I've read on Duck L'Orange, this card has come up for him, and often in the obstacle position. So he is very fearful. And also, what is he fearful of? Justice, quite simply, the sword of truth and justice coming out, which of course will likely result in this scenario happening. Things are moving forward. Yeah. So I think you're correct in the sense, Lady G, that there is a male who is maybe the key intergoer, because if we see here, the knights are all about speed moving forward, and this is actually the fastest knight, yeah, which can even suggest not only just passion but communications. This is someone who is gutsy, got a bit of gusto to them, a bit of chutzpah, yeah, to carry out this work. Maybe this could even be a little bit of a certain Kushner, perhaps.
Could be.
In the past, going forward, you know, because a young male who is, you know, wanting to go forth and sort of make a name for himself in a way. Do you know what I mean? Getting stuck in. But when we look here, I think this card, I think, reflects a bit of Putinska, to be honest, and how he feels about Duc L'Orange now. Because he's looking at this guy and he's like, listen, you're going to be Poe soon, yeah? Poe, not even Poe, yeah? Biden is going to rinse your pockets out. And now he's kind of like, this is how he feels about Trump. And here we are, we have the Knight of Cups, which can represent the insincere knight. Yeah. So basically, this is sort of like, I think this is the political equivalent of the one night stand. Yeah. And Duc L'Orange has just been left with the damp patch. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And Putin, or Putinska, has decided to move on. I think on many levels, he's lost interest. Yeah. He's lost interest because L'Orange is no longer as useful, shall we say, because he no longer has his hands on the, you know, L'Orange can think whatever he wants, but the truth is he doesn't have the power that he had. And now I think Putin's like, well, you know, and one of the clarifying cards that I get from Hannah's deck is, look, and again, one of many. Yeah. So I think Putinska is just like one of many. One of many. You're one of the pieces, one of the pawns on my board. I've finished with you now. Next. Do you know what I mean? I think there's that kind of energy. And I think Duc L'Orange knows it, because I keep getting the Five of Pentacles for him and the Moon card and stuff like that. He's very troubled, shall we say.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like he's got nothing to trade anymore, because, you know, they're not going to give him high-level state secrets anymore. Whatever, if they give him anything, it's going to be misinformation. So
cut him off.
Nothing. He's got nothing to trade.
They cut him off, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not receiving anything when it comes to our secrets, intelligence.
Yeah, because they know he would sell them in a heartbeat. So.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's not only him; his entire family. Well,
exactly.
If he's out, everyone under him, they don't trust any of them. Yeah.
Absolutely, and they're not to be trusted at all. So we went through our current selection of questions today. So I think we should do one that wasn't able to be done last week. And in light of you, Milou, our special guest, and I'm informed that apparently you're originally from Haiti.
Yes, I was born in Haiti.
So I wanted to ask you, let me just see who's here. Thank you, Craig Dixon. Thank you so much for your donation. So what I wanted to ask you is, someone asked a question last week and there wasn't time. Now, this is a controversial one, yeah? So everyone get ready, yeah? Entertainment purposes only. And what someone asked was, now there is from what I understand, I can't remember the names, but there is an acting prime minister at the moment, isn't there, in Haiti? Because sadly we know the one before was assassinated. So the person asking the question was asking, is the one that is sitting in place now, did they have anything to do with the assassination?
I don't feel so. And he stepped down. You know, I don't remember his name. He was a pretty young gentleman. The new, I believe you're right, Prime Minister is the gentleman that Moise nominated before he passed. So, the one who stepped up when after Moise got assassinated, stepped down. And I was wondering myself, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I don't know why he even stayed that long, knowing that someone else was supposed to take his position. But people with big egos, blah blah blah. But in any event, I don't feel he knew. I don't feel he knew. He might have suspected. Intuitively, I feel mistakes were made on the part of our government, the American government, regarding intelligence and a lot of things that were happening over there.
Mm-hmm.
And who'd have thought, if somebody had told me that foreigners would be able to land in Haiti, assassinate the president, I'd tell you must be crazy. But it happened. I don't feel people and the intelligence community realized the gravity or how far this could have gotten. I feel they had an inkling, and things got out of hand, and those guys, they got lucky. When it's time to go, it's time to go. Unfortunately, that's the way he was supposed to go. I feel bad about putting it that way. I don't mean to be clinical about it, but I feel like saying, no, that gentleman, you know what? He's too smart. The gentleman, the young gentleman with glasses, I'm sorry, I don't remember the names. I don't know them at all, but the one you are talking about, the young prime minister, no, I don't feel he had anything to do with it. He might have been suspicious and stuff, but I don't know. That's too, when I focus on him, yes, he has a big ego, he's ambitious. Also, he has worked. Well, those guys are part of the American intelligence community. All these people, okay? He knows better.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so did you wanna read on that, Lady G, or shall we do one more question?
Well, just what I got with that was he wants freedom. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
That's what
His direction is looking for a contract, something that's going to benefit him.
Yep.
He knows this was an abuse of power. It was set up by moneyed people that wanted to take advantage. And he knows that Biden administration is strong, and there could be some difficulties and stuff coming up with that. So again, he's looking at the past and everything, and he's doing the best strength that he could do for himself. So he is stepping down and looking for something better.
Exactly.
What I did was I just split the deck and picked the first three cards that came out, and I think they're quite relevant. So I got here the Hermit here, which again is reflection, going within, looking within, research, retreating, and just really deeply assessing a situation. I think this person is sort of almost kind of has their own wealth in a way, not really looking for money per se, because it's almost like their material needs are met, and then actually trying to maybe actually think, well, look, what's best for the country, because this is the Queen of Pentacles, which represents, the homeland and stuff like that. So maybe nothing too nefarious going on there. We can squeeze in one more question. We've got about 7 minutes left, and I suppose, and this is another carryover from last week, which is coming from Lauren G. For some reason, last week my printer wanted to print the correct way. Today it wanted to go on to the other side. Whatever. So, and again, this is about voting rights. So, will voting rights be restored before the 2022 elections in red states? And they went on to say where, of course, all of the repression and all that kind of stuff is. But essentially, will voting rights be restored before 2022? Quite a tricky one, I think.
I don't feel completely restored. Something is going to happen, okay? Republicans are trying, are doing the best they can to cheat, and that's what they've been doing forever. But I feel people power, people taking to the streets,
Thank you, Bob.
protesting. I don't feel this is going to go anywhere. They may shave a couple of points here and there, but intuitively, I feel it doesn't matter what they do. In fact, they are motivating the Democratic base. And you know what? The other thing is they are demoralizing a lot of Republicans. So regardless of what happened, okay, let me put it this way. For some reason, we will safely land in 2022, be able to do what we want. And after that, I can confuse time, but pass or codify, they say, the federal government will put laws in place to prevent Republicans from cheating. But I can confuse time. I don't know if it's going to be before 2022, but whatever they're doing right now, it's not going to work. It's not going to help them. I hope I answered the question. Was I confusing, or did I?
No, I think that makes sense, and I just want to make sure that I say thank you to Bob Muller. Thank you so much for your donation, Lady G. What do you have for us? What are your cards?
What I got overall is the insight of what we need to do, pebble by pebble by pebble, vote by vote by vote, to get what we want. What I got is the timing of it is difficult. They're not going to be able to change it. But in the center, we have the celebration, underneath of it, the balance, and above it, the tower. So, it's through voting they're going to be voted out. It's not because they're skewing things. The challenge is they're out in the cold. Because underneath of it, people care too much, and they will go forward and do what they need to do to secure the election. Now, what I got again going forward, they're done. That it's an end to them, a double end to them. Okay?
Wow.
We get this twice, and we are again going to smoother waters. So I don't think they're going to be able to change the voting things this next election, but they'll be voted out. There will be such an overwhelming turnout by Democrats. And I think there will be some Republicans by the time 2022 comes along. Perhaps some of the things will be coming out on Trump, some of the starting things that they will no longer vote for the Republicans.
Exactly.
So I think that's what's going to happen with that.
Well, one of the things I reckon is this. I mean, when there's the next big freeze in Texas, I think a lot of MAGA hats are going to be used as fuel to stay warm. When you're swinging off your frozen icicle laden fan cooler, I think a lot of merch is going to be thrown on the bonfire, to stay warm, because it's just crazy. And just so you know as well, we just hit 991 participants, so it's 990 now.
Wow.
There we are. So this is a big one. And so again, and I think this is almost like my British perspective on this. So in regards to the question of the voting rights, what's going to happen? So look at this. Symbolizing it all, choppy stuff, This in many ways can represent democracy herself, Yeah. This is like democracy herself being victimized, feeling attacked from all sides, trying to get through very testing situations. Almost, because this is almost like what the GOP are trying to do to democracy: bind her up, blindfold her.
Yep.
And we're in this delicate phase where the country is trying to move forward, and the GOP are just putting obstacle after obstacle in the way. But it's almost as if this is going to have to rely on higher faith. Oh, we just passed 1,000. Thank you, guys.
Wow.
1,000 entry. So democracy is having to navigate very carefully, and it literally is being victimized. She's being attacked by what? From all sides, yeah? Because almost as well that you see here, this could almost be the Capitol in the hill, yeah? These could be the barricades that were recently up, which they should have kept up, by the way. I think I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, but look at this. Lady G, I get the world card as well. So on one level,
3 strikes, they're out.
I mean, that's 3 strikes. That's 3 strikes. So what this does suggest is that, you know, this may be just a cycle that completes itself. They may not be able to get rid of it this time, but it will probably come to an end, particularly as well as the world is watching. The world is watching. What is required by a certain percentage of the electorate, and of course the GOP, is a change of perspective. Yeah, a change of perspective is required, because in the end, the burden will be almost too heavy. I don't think the GOP can fully pull it off, because such is the work, such is the attack coming from all sides. Because this card, when it's the right way up, it literally means like a piece of work anyway, like work that you're not necessarily doing efficiently. So even if it was the right way up, this shows them really working hard trying to get this thing, but getting there in an inefficient way. It's reversed. This is almost about abandoning the cause, just literally dropping that burden and just thinking, is it worth it? So there could be an element here where there is such resistance, so many things go wrong, commissions coming out, all sorts of bad kind of press, maybe by that point, even quite a lot of deaths as well from the second surge. And it's not going to feel worth it. And there is going to be this element where I think America is actually just going to be really looking at just like, you know what, we need some security here. We need to look after our prosperity. We need stability. And we're going to be if we don't have any democracy. And this is what's going to wake people up.
That's true.
That's why certain elements of the right-wing media are starting to change their tune now on certain things, because the virus is starting to get out of control again. What did it do? Did you see on the stock exchange? Big crash. So that means a lot of people lost a lot of money. So a lot of people were like on the phone to, you know, at a certain entertainment network, shall we say. And they were just like, listen, you know, my mistress needs diamonds.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
Ruined my investments with this blah blah blah. You guys need to fix up, otherwise I'm pulling the plug. Yeah. So here, what is the thing that really encapsulates what the whole GOP is about? Picking again from Hannah's cards, from a Nexus Oracle. What a beautiful card to finish off. And it is what? Delusional thinking.
Oh my God.
Can't make this up, folks.
Nope.
Couldn't make it up. Delusional thinking. So basically, the party of Kra eventually, in the end, is they're not going to be able to sustain it, because the cat's already out the bag. The reason why we're hardly hearing anything from this so-called, you know, the kangaroo count in Arizona is because they've counted it umpteen times and they've, you know, Biden still won.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll be saying, look, we've got proof. There was bamboo after all. And we found, you know, we found the pubic hair. You know, it's just ridiculous.
I don't know. As you're talking, I just see Fox saying, row.
Yeah, row.
Yeah. Bail.
Oh, my God.
And
you know,
if you notice, like Hogarth said, Fox is trying the best it can to run away from. Yeah, and I'm not surprised. But they're going to spend some money anyway. So
they're going to have to pay out someone or pay out something.
Oh yes.
So everyone, That is, we've actually gone over. So that is our hour done. Can you believe it? It has gone in an absolute flash. So I just want to say a thank you to our special guest, Milou. It has been a joy. We're going to have you back.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You know, in the comments, of course, everyone comment below, and you know, let's see what we can do kind of going through. But it's been a pleasure. And of course,
same here.
Lady G, thank you. Lady G looking gorgeous as always. And thank you so much for your
thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
And the synchronicity. So thanks everyone so much for joining us. Thank you for the donations, and we will see you next week.